Hello, I'm at Disneyland today to try the new Lightning Lane Premier Pass. Now this is the new pass that Disneyland just announced. Basically, you can go on any of the Lightning Lane attractions, any of the single Lightning Lane attractions like Radiator Springs Racers and Rise of the Resistance without making a reservation. You can do them once per day. You just show up whenever you want and scan in and go on the attraction. So it sounds amazing, right? But it comes with a hefty price tag. It's going to cost you between $300 and $400 per person per day for the Lightning Lane Premier Pass, which is a ton of money. So I am here at Disneyland today trying it out so I can see what it's all about, and I'm going to time everything and help you decide if it is right for your family. I'm Melissa with Mix and Some Magic, and let's go see what Lightning Lane Premier Pass is all about.
There you go.
Next up is Autopia. This is not my favorite ride. If I have like a 5-year-old with me, then it's fun. But by myself, guys, I don't want to do it. But I'm going to for science. We got to document all this Lightning Lane Premier Pass stuff so that I can know what's going on. I definitely shouldn't be taking a video and driving. I don't think it's safe. I have to document though that I am actually on Autopia. I'm doing it, I'm driving. I'm doing it. Check it off the list. When you're using Premier Pass, then there's a section in the app that will show you which attractions you've already ridden and which ones are still available. All right, the queue for Mickey and Minnie's is maybe the best. With Premier Pass, then you get access to the Lightning Lane in both Disneyland, which is over there, and California Adventure Park. So it's really only worth it if you are park hopping, because you need to be able to take advantage of the attractions in both parks to really get your money's worth. So right now I'm hopping over to DCA so that I can go hit all the attractions over there, and then I'll head back over to Disneyland and finish up the things that I missed over there.
There's your door.
Next up is my favorite attraction, Guardians of the Galaxy. It's so good.
It all helps us develop really cool stuff like these spider bots, for example.
I gotta say, that wait for Radiator Springs was pretty dreamy. 10 minutes, not a 10-minute wait, like 10 minutes, me getting in line, waiting in line, riding the ride, and walking out of the ride. All that was 10 minutes. So nice.
Just for you. So while Andy's away, it's time.
All right, Lightning Lane Premier Pass has been really easy to use, and I have to say I love it. I don't love the price, so we'll talk about that a little bit later, but just the fact that I don't have to bounce around the parks to get to different lightning lanes is amazing. I've gotten way less steps on this trip than I usually do because you can just hit things in order, which sounds so logical, but when you're using Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, it doesn't work that way. So that's been really, really nice. I am hopping back over to Disneyland, but I know a lot of you still have your jaws on the floor with the price of this Lightning Lane Premier Pass, and I am right there with you. It is so expensive. But Disney has not created this for their average guest like myself. They've created it for their guests with deep pockets who want an option that offers much more convenience and flexibility. So in the past they had the Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, and then they had a VIP tour, which is incredibly expensive, but there was nothing in between. And now there's this in-between option for guests who can afford it and who want the convenience of it, because it really is convenient. However, I have thought of a way that can make it affordable and within reach for my family on occasion. I'm going to tell you about that in a bit.
Jungle Cruise, guys. You want to go on Jungle Cruise? Up to the left. And watch. There's 6.
All right, I'm leaving Disneyland from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. I did Lightning Lane Premier Pass. Now I had meals and little breaks and things like that in between, so it wasn't just constant Lightning Lane Premier Pass, but I got just about everything done that I could. I did everything but 4 attractions. I didn't get to, well, I didn't ride Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run because I didn't want to. Didn't ride Grizzly River Run, again, because I didn't want to. And I didn't ride Little Mermaid because I ran out of time, and I didn't get to go ride Guardians of the Galaxy Monsters After Dark. I did the regular Guardians of the Galaxy, but I could have ridden it again once it became Monsters at 3 p.m. So those were the 4 that I didn't get done, and I'm leaving the parks at 6 p.m. So if you wanted to stay later than 6 p.m., which I assume that most people would choose to, and you could easily do all of the Lightning Lane attractions. You could easily add in a bunch of other attractions. I have a lot of thoughts about Lightning Lane Premier Pass, but I'm going to gather my thoughts, regroup, and I'm going to jump back on here when I get home and share them all with you. I'm home. I've had some time to process my Lightning Lane Premier Pass experience, and I'm ready to give you a wrap up of the whole thing, what I thought overall, how I think it can be improved, if I'll use it in the future, how you can fit it into your budget, those kinds of things. So I really enjoyed using it. I mean, there's something to be said about just showing up to a Lightning Lane attraction and riding it whenever you feel like, and it is pretty amazing. So I loved that. It kind of made me feel free, like I did back when you didn't even have to make Lightning Lane reservations or Fast Pass reservations or Genie Plus. Back before all of that, remember how easy the parks used to be? You would just show up and go on a ride. It's like a novel idea now because most theme parks don't work that way anymore, but it was really nice when I had the Premier Pass to just show up to a Lightning Lane attraction and ride it. I didn't have to overthink it. I didn't have to check return times. I wasn't waiting for my return time window to open up so I could make another reservation. None of that. I just showed up to ride the attraction and it was glorious. But I paid dearly for that privilege. Oh my gosh, Lightning Lane Premier Pass is incredibly expensive. Now at Disneyland, you're going to pay between $300 and $400 depending on the day. I paid $400. This is per person, per day, for the perk of entering the Lightning Lane attractions without making a reservation. It does also include Rise of the Resistance and Radiator Springs Racers, which is really nice because those lines are always long, and it includes Photo Pass. But overall, I did not feel like it came anywhere close to being worth the $400 price tag. There just wasn't enough value for what they were charging. I would feel comfortable paying $150 to $200 for what they are offering right now. If they want to continue Premier Pass as it is and charge the $400, $300 to $400, I can't see very many people wanting to do it because there's just not enough value. I think if they're going to charge that much, they need to add more value to the experience to kind of sweeten the pot and make people want to do it because it is more valuable. Now, if I was paying $400 again for Lightning Lane Premier Pass, which I don't know that I ever will, maybe, we'll see, I would want more perks. I would want to be able to use early entry. So right now, early entry is available 30 minutes before the park opens, either at Disneyland or California Adventure. It alternates between the two parks, and it is for on-property hotel resort guests only. I think they should throw Premier Pass guests into that as well. If you're paying that much money for Premier Pass, I think you should be able to get into the parks 30 minutes early. That just seems like an easy thing that they could do that would add some value. I also think that they should not limit it to one ride per Lightning Lane attraction. Come on, you're paying $400 and you can only ride Space Mountain one time using the Lightning Lane. That seems a little ridiculous. I think that's something they could easily change and would add more value. Because if I'm paying $400 in addition to my park ticket and I want to ride Radiator Springs Racers 2 times in a row, I feel like I should be able to ride Racers 2 times in a row. I also feel like they need to do something else to add more value beyond those 2 things. I think those 2 things would be like a bare minimum, but I think maybe if they had a reserved viewing area for the parade or World of Color or something like that, that would help sweeten the deal. Or maybe adding some sort of discount like they do for Magic Key holders for the day for food and merchandise. Like maybe you also got 10% off on food and merchandise because you had Premier Pass for the day. I think that would help as well. Will they do that? Make changes? I don't know. I guess it will depend on how many people are actually purchasing it. And if not a lot of people are, then Disney might consider making it better. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. For the price that it is right now and the value that I got out of it, I probably wouldn't do it again. Now I can see if you are traveling to Disneyland and you only have 1 day to spend there, this is your once in a lifetime trip and you want to get in as much as possible, then yes, this is going to add value to your trip and you're going to be able to get a ton more done if that's the case. But for most people, I don't feel like the value is there. Now, while I was there, I was trying to scheme, like, how could I make this work in my budget? Because it really was so nice and I enjoyed it so much. And I started thinking, well, if our family usually goes to Disneyland for 3 days, if we cut it down and just did 1 day with the Premier Pass, we could get everything done in that 1 day that we wanted to do. But we could save money on those extra 2 park days, on the tickets, on the food. We spend an insane amount of money on food for my family when we're at Disneyland. Plus, we could also save money on 2 nights in a hotel. So it would all kind of balance out. but then you're only getting to spend one day at Disneyland, which would be a fun, epic, awesome day, and we could get so much done. But I also kind of like the slower paced days when we are there for 3 days, even if that does mean we're waiting in longer lines. So I don't know if I'll ever use it again. That is a way that you could work it into your budget, though, if you're thinking it's something that you really want to try. I love doing strategy testing at Disney parks, and so coming up soon, I'm teaming up with 2 other friends, and we are going to do some strategy testing on Lightning Lane Premier Pass, Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, and the standby line. So we're all going to be at Disneyland, and one of us is going to use Premier Pass, one's going to use Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, and one of us is going to do the standby line. And we're just going to see how our days go, see how much we can actually get done, so we can help you determine how valuable these different passes are, and if you help you decide if you want to use them moving forward with your vacation. So I think it's going to be really interesting, and I think it's going to be exciting, and I can't wait. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're following along so that you don't miss that video when it comes out soon. Thank you so much for watching. I think you're the best. We'll talk soon.